The night sky shimmered. A rare lunar eclipse cloaked the savannah in an eerie glow. It was on this night that 3 lion cubs were born: Ajani, Zuberi, and Tahla. Blind, the elders whispered, cursed. But the lioness queen, Kaylee, saw strength. She felt their bond, a connection forged under the silent moon. Ajani, the eldest, bore a thoughtful air. His mind was sharp, a strategist's mind. Zuberi, the second, possessed an untamed spirit. He was a warrior, fearless and strong. Tahla, the youngest, was the heart. He listened, truly listened, to the whispers of the wind and the rustling of the earth. The brothers were different, yet inseparable. Their blindness, a bond; their strength, a shared spirit. The elders spoke of an ancient prophecy. 3 blind lions, born under the eclipse, would one day shape the destiny of their pride. Kaylee knew in her heart that this was the time. Her sons were the chosen ones. The seasons turned. The playful cubs grew into strong young lions, yet a shadow fell upon the Pride lands. The rains had failed. The life-giving waterholes dwindled to dust. The once lush savanna withered. Prey became scarce. Hunger gnawed at the bellies of the Pride. Whispers of despair echoed through the dry grasses. Old rivalries resurfaced. The lions bickered amongst themselves. Their leader Scar was a tyrant. He cared little for the suffering of his pride. He hoarded the little food that remained, leaving the weak and the young to starve. Ajani, Zuberi, and Tahla felt the desperation in the air. They knew that their pride was fracturing. They had to act. They remembered their mother's words. "Your blindness is not a weakness," she had said. "It is a strength. Use your other senses. Trust in each other. You are the hope of the Pride." The brothers decided to seek a hidden water, a place untouched by drought. It was a perilous journey. Many dangers lurked in the dry plains. Packs of starving hyenas driven mad by hunger. Rogue lions cast out from other prides, desperate for territory. But Ajani, Zuberi, and Tahla were not deterred. They had each other, and they had their unique gifts. Ajani, the strategist, planned their route. He used the stars as his guide and the scent of the wind to navigate. Zuberi, the warrior, protected them with his strength and ferocity. His roars echoed through the night, a warning to any who dared to challenge them. Tahla, the listener, used his keen hearing to detect danger. He could sense the vibrations of the earth, the rustling of leaves, the slightest sound that betrayed a hidden predator. Happened with every step. They were not just brothers, they were a force of nature, the embodiment of courage and unity. Their journey led them across treacherous ravines and through dense thorn thickets. They encountered other animals, desperate and weary. Some were hostile, driven to madness by thirst. Others, sensing the brothers' strength and purpose, offered what little help they could. A wise old baboon, remembering a time before the drought, pointed them towards a forgotten path. A lone zebra, separated from its herd, shared its meager water supply. But not all encounters were so fortunate. As they approached the territory rumored to hold the hidden water source, they met a group of lionesses. These were Scar's followers, sent to find the water for themselves. They promised the brothers a place of honor in Scar's pride if they revealed what they knew. Ajani, Zuberi, and Tahla refused. They would not be party to Scar's tyranny. The brothers fought back bravely, but they were outnumbered. It was Tahla who sensed a change in the wind. He smelled a familiar scent. Betrayal. It was their own cousin, Zira, leading the attack. Her heart, once loyal, had been poisoned by Scar's promises. Section 5. The Roar of the Outsider. The brothers were outnumbered and wounded. Zira and the other lionesses stood over them, ready to strike the final blow. But then a roar shook the ground. It was a sound of pure power, primal and ancient. A massive figure emerged from the shadows, a lion like no other. His mane was dark as night, streaked with silver. His eyes burned with an intense, fiery light. The lionesses scattered in fear. Zira hesitated, her eyes wide with terror before she too backed away. The newcomer approached the brothers cautiously. He had heard tales of their journey, of their courage and their cause. He introduced himself as Askari, an outsider, a rogue lion who had been watching Scar's cruelty with growing anger. Askari had been living in the outskirts, protecting a small water source that he had found. He knew of the hidden oasis, the one spoken of in legends. He offered to lead them there. But first, he said, they needed to heal. They needed to regain their strength. Together, the four lions, an unlikely alliance forged in desperation and hope, set off towards Ascari's hidden refuge. Section 6. Facing the Unknown. Ascari's den was a cave hidden behind a waterfall. The air was cool and damp, a welcome respite from the scorching sun. He tended to their wounds with herbs and water. He shared his food with them, meager though it was. As they rested, Ascari shared his story. He had once been a member of another pride, far to the north. But his pride had been ravaged by disease and famine. He had been the only survivor. He had wandered the savannah for many seasons, alone and lost. He had seen the best and worst of his kind. He had learned that strength did not always lie in numbers or in brute force. True strength lay in courage, compassion, and unity. Ascari believed in the prophecy of the three blind lions. He saw in them the potential to heal not just their pride, but the entire savannah. He agreed to help them, not just for the sake of their pride, but for the sake of all who suffered under Scar's tyranny. The brothers, inspired by Ascari's words and his unwavering belief in them, vowed to defeat Scar and bring peace and prosperity back to the land. Section 7. A Symphony of Senses. With renewed strength and purpose, the four lions set off towards the hidden oasis. The journey was treacherous. The terrain became increasingly difficult. They faced steep cliffs, treacherous swamps, and scorching deserts. But through it all, they never gave up hope. They faced each challenge as one. Ajani's strategic mind guided their path. He used the position of the sun, the direction of the wind, and the lay of the land to navigate. Zuberi's strength and ferocity cleared their path. He battled predators and moved obstacles with unwavering determination. Tahla's keen hearing alerted them to danger and guided them through treacherous landscapes. He could hear the whisper of water through rock, the rustle of leaves that betrayed a hidden path. And Ascari, with his knowledge of the land and his years of experience, served as their guide and protector. Their senses, honed by necessity and strengthened by their bond, became their greatest weapon. They moved as one, a symphony of sound and instinct, a testament to the power of unity and trust. Section 8. The Heart of the Pride. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached their destination. The hidden oasis was even more magnificent than they had imagined. A waterfall cascaded down a cliff face, filling a crystal-clear lake. Lush vegetation surrounded the water, a stark contrast to the arid landscape they had traversed. But their joy was short-lived, for guarding the oasis was a pride of lions, larger and more powerful than any they had encountered before. Led by a massive lion named Zuberi, they were the self-proclaimed guardians of the oasis. Zuberi, sensing the desperation in the eyes of Ajani, Zuberi, and Tahla, allowed them to approach. He had heard of their quest. He had heard of Scar's cruelty and the suffering of their pride. He had also heard of their refusal to betray their pride for their own gain. Zuberi was impressed by their courage and their compassion. He knew that the prophecy spoke of three blind lions uniting the prides. He saw in Ajani, Zuberi, and Tahla the potential to bring peace and prosperity back to the savannah. Section 9. Legacy of the Three. Zuberi, moved by their plight and recognizing the prophecy's truth, agreed to help. He rallied his pride to join them, to fight alongside them against Scar and his followers. Together they returned to their homeland, a force of nature ready to reclaim what was rightfully theirs. The final battle was fierce and bloody. Scar fought with the ferocity of a cornered animal, but he was no match for the combined might of the united prides. Weakened by his own greed and cruelty, he was defeated and driven out. With Scar vanquished, Ajani, Zuberi, and Tahla, the three blind lions born under the eclipse, became the leaders their pride needed. They shared the water from the hidden oasis, bringing life back to the parched land. They ruled with wisdom and compassion, putting the needs of their pride above their own. They proved that true strength lay not in sight, but in courage, unity, and an unwavering belief in oneself and one's purpose. And so the legend of the three blind lions was passed down through generations. a tale of courage, unity, and the enduring power of hope, reminding all that even in the darkest of times, light can emerge from the most unexpected.